Today's topic is sunk cost fallacy. Maybe you've heard of it or maybe not, but you have definitely experienced it before. Or for the most of us, unfortunately, we are still experiencing it today. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever kept watching a terrible movie just because you already paid for the ticket? Or finished a meal even though you were full? Just because you didn't want the food to go to waste? If your answer is yes, then you have fallen for the sunk cost fallacy. First, I want to give a brief explanation to break down the concept in serious terms, and then we can talk about the fun real life examples to better understand it. Sunk cost fallacy happens when we continue doing something just because we've already spent money, time, or efforts on it, even when quitting would be the better choice. Instead of making decisions based on future benefits, we irrationally hold on to past investments. It's much like gambling in a way. The mistake we make is believing that quitting means wasting that past investment, but in reality, the cost is already gone, whether we decide to continue or not. A rational decision would focus on whether continuing brings more benefit than stopping now. But because of psychological biases, we often keep going anyway. Let's say you bought a ticket for €100 for a concert, but just a day before the concert, you get invited to your best friend's birthday party in a really fancy restaurant you always wanted to go. Does going to the restaurant for free makes you feel like you've lost €100 on the concert ticket? Whatever you choose to do at this moment, that money is gone already. Sunk costs are past investments that we cannot get back. Quitting now does not wipe away the past, it just saves on the future costs. Future costs are what actually matters for decision making. Would you stay and spend even more time and effort on something, or walk away with your resources and make better choices in the future? To better describe the problem, we can bullet point a few things. First, loss aversion, to avoid losing. Humans hate losing, so we try to make up those past losses. We try to pick every little piece of value we hoped we would win. Commitment bias. Once we start something, we have this inner feel to pressure ourselves to continue, because otherwise it would be such a waste of all the previous efforts we have made. Like finishing a degree we no longer like, or force finishing a meal after getting full, because it would have been spoiled till tomorrow lunch time. And lastly, social pressure. We worry about what others will think of us if we quit now. Will they say that we couldn't hack it, or we made a mistake by starting something bad in the first place? To address these issues on a personal level, we can learn to lose. As the saying goes, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. Another point is to start afresh, giving yourself a second chance. Think of the benefits you wanted to gain when you started this path in the first place. If it doesn't look the same at the current stage, you have to let go. Psychologists and economists have done plenty research on this concept, but with a little googling of our own, we can find the most famous and relevant case of Concorde Supersonic Atlantic Transport Project by the French and the Brits. Halfway the project, they had already realized they were over the budget, and they would never get enough profit to cover the costs later. But it was an incredible idea to bring 4 hour Atlantic travel into real life. But then again, taking a little look into our own lives, we can see sometimes we keep using the new shoes that we bought for €100, even though they keep hurting our feet. Or we stay in a toxic relationship because we have already spent living together for the past 3 years. Or you start thinking that your career does not make you happy. Or your decision to pursue a PhD degree does not really fit into your life right now. But you have invested so much time and effort already, and not seeing it through till the end would be such a waste, right? A big mistake we make is confusing sunk costs with future costs. What is gone is gone. We have to think of future costs and benefits. Next time you find yourself stuck in an unfavorable situation, you have to ask yourself, am I staying in this situation because I want to, or because I have already invested so much time in it? And more importantly, ask yourself, if you were to start fresh today, would you make these same choices knowing what you have learned already? Because you can. You can start today again with better choices. And of course, perseverance might bring you to the happy ending. Sometimes, but not always. And I want you to remember, of course, a meaningful relationship is worth keep working on. But at some point, you have to face your own self and make a decision for a better future. The smart choice is to ignore sunk costs and think about the future. And in some cases, we might get the return value of those movie tickets after watching the full 2 hour movie. But in some cases, we might just suffer the time and gain nothing in the end. That's why keep in mind that you can cut losses and redirect your energy towards something better. And do not fall for the sunk cost fallacy. Sometimes it's okay to move on. Now, let's discuss your personal experiences to see how well you have understood the concept of sunk cost fallacy.